If you're over 50, you probably don't know about this simple 30-second trick that can instantly improve your walking. My name is Harlow and I'm a specialist in helping people over the age of 50 to improve their mobility. And today I'm going to show you a simple trick that can improve your walking. And best of all, it only takes 30 seconds. Here are some signs that this tip will be perfect for you. The first is that you lack power or you shuffle when you're out walking. The second is that walking now feels tiring or it takes up much more effort than it should. The third is if you struggle to keep up with those who are younger than you. And the fourth is if you suffer from back, knee or hip pain when you're out walking. If any of these things are true, it's probably not just your age that's to blame. There's something else, and the good news is you can fix it. This can often happen because certain muscles get lazy as we age and we lose something called our mind-muscle connection to those muscles. Now, this is a painless process, so you won't feel it happening, but it does have dramatic effects on your walking. Now, the most common muscle to lose connection to for walkers is the glutes. And the glutes are the muscles that live at the back of your hip. They control the alignment of your pelvis and your thigh bone. And if they stop working well, that makes walking slow, effortful, and much more difficult than it should be. But with one simple 30-second exercise, you can activate your glutes so they're working next time you go out for a walk. So this exercise is designed to be done just before you start walking, literally the 30-second period before you go out for your walk. Do this exercise, it will wake up your glutes and your walking will be easier as a result. You can also do this space throughout the day at any time to build permanent strength in your glutes. So it's really such a good thing to have in your routine. I'm going to show you 3 variations of this exercise, so you can choose whichever one you prefer. But before I do, I just need to make you aware it's not going to be suitable for everyone, and definitely avoid it if it causes you pain. The exercise is called the crab walk, and it looks something like this. So you're just about to leave the house. You've got your landing here. You don't need any kit for this first variation. You're going to stand with your feet about shoulder width apart, stick your bottom out slightly, bend your knees ever so slightly like this, so you're in a half squat position, and all we're going to do is walk like a crab. You're going to go sideways, I don't know, 4 or 5 steps would be fine, and then you're going to go back the other way. Now what this is doing is it's working on something called abduction, which is where your leg is being taken away from the midline of your body, especially on this side when you're going that way, and this side when you're going that way. And it's your glutes which are responsible for abduction. But the other thing that's really nice about this exercise is because you're in this kind of bent forward position, like a half squat, we've already engaged the hip extensors. And these are the other part of the glutes. So it's your gluteus maximus, which is your hip extensor, and your gluteus medius and minimus, which are your abductors. And they all get a workout with this easy exercise. Do that for 30 seconds. And at the end of it, you should feel a working ache in your glutes. If you've got that, that's amazing, and that is when you should go out for your walk. But if you can do that for 30 seconds and you don't feel anything happening here at all, you need a slightly harder variation, which I'm going to show you now. So I'm going to show you the slightly harder variation now, but before I do, if you're enjoying this routine, I've got tons more exercises to help you walk better in my brand new book, Thriving Beyond 50. You can find a link to that in the description below this video. Anyway, for the slightly harder variation, what we need is a thin resistance band, kind of like one of these. And I've got a link in my description box below which shows you some of my recommended bands. They're very cheap to get online and they're super versatile, very underrated for exercises for over 50s. And what we're going to do with this band is you're going to attach it to somewhere stable in your house that isn't going to ping off. Something like a banister on your staircase can work really well, or a very sturdy door handle. So I'm going to show you what to do. I'm going to loop it around my bed because that's the sturdiest thing in this room. And you still want to hold both ends of the band in front of your body like this in 2 hands. And then all we're going to do is repeat the exercise. So squat down into that mini squat position, stick your bottom out, and then do a couple of steps out, and a couple of steps back in without taking the tension off the band or allowing it to rotate your body. So we're shortening up how many steps we do, but the steps have become much harder and we can just do more of these in a row to fill that 30-second time. Now I can really start to feel my glutes working quite hard doing this, but you're feeling them more on one side. So when you're doing it like this, you can feel it most on this side, but that means you have to swap over and do the other side as well. So again, 2 out and 2 back in, trying to really do it slowly, particularly on the way in, because that's when the band's trying to pull you really toughly. Now, if you don't have anywhere to attach your band to, let me show you the final variation that you can try at home now. So for this final variation, instead of that tubing that I had a minute ago, you're going to find a resistance band loop. Again, you can get these super cheaply online. Just search for glute bands and they'll pop right up. And what you're going to do with this, instead of attaching it to something, you're going to wrap it around both legs. And you want to get your legs inside it and sit it just above your knees like this. So this is the starting position. Now we're going to do exactly the same thing. Squat down into it. And now we're going to walk like a crab, but making sure that when we do this stage of the movement, it's as slow as possible. And the reason we're slowing it down is because the band's trying to ping you in like this. And I want you to keep it really slow by resisting the force of that band. Again, I feel this even more in my glutes than the previous variation. It's one of the exercises we used to do with the professional footballers in the warm-ups before games because it activates those glutes. And it's actually been proven to prevent ACL injuries in the sport, which is a fun fact for you there. It's such a good exercise because it engages those glutes perfectly, and in 30 seconds, you'll be ready to walk and it's going to feel totally different. So I'd love it if you had a go at that at home. If you do give it a try, come back and leave a comment to let us know how it went. I've got another video on the screen right now to show you how to build even more permanent strength in your glutes. So click on that now if you want to learn how, and I'll see you again on the next video.